It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
Changes are just a point of view.
So I told my guy Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another spectacular edition of Me and My Roku. I am your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard, as I like to say, as I go through, once again, all the things I've done with my Roku. And maybe you'll get ideas on how to handle yours. Because this is a me show. I explain what I do, what I've done the past week or so, or beyond. And just kind of let you know what's going on. And hopefully you have a Roku of yourself, you can get some ideas. Or if you're just on the fence and you just like to have a podcast and something to listen to while you're walking, commuting, anything like that. Or you just like to hear a nice, soothing voice like mine. And hopefully I don't talk a million miles an hour. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You never know. Well, lots going on. Changes galore. And a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So buckle up, get ready, and let's get started. Okay, so if you're new to the Roku game, just be aware that things aren't like cable TV where you can just be static all the time, and when something changes, it's a big deal. Here with the Roku, things change all the time, from week to week, day to day. Sometimes something's going on, something's being added, something's being taken away, something stops, something keeps going. User interface is changed, so no rest for the wicked. So if you're just like, I just want to sit down and turn something on, just be ready just for something to change every now and then. Like I say, every now and then, every day I do a system update, and then every week I do a restart. And before you know it, you'll find something has changed. In this case, it's PlayStation Vue. This is something that I use as a cable alternative. They have all your favorite cable channels, some less or so than more, or some of others. And then also I use it for a login so that I can use the apps on those channels as well. In this particular case, they have decided to change their interface a little bit, including their guide. It's a little more easier to use and a little more across the board. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes if I had on my older Roku, it would look different than on my other. So now it's pretty much straight across the board. No matter which Roku you have, you get the same guide, and it looks pretty much the same. Then PlayStation Vue also sent a kind of a cryptic email announcing some channel changes. Not telling you exactly at all, just go to their website. Well, just to find out that the Science Channel and Destination America, one channel we use, the Science Channel, because we like to learn things every now and then Destination America should just do what Game Show Network and AMC have done and just acronymize to just GSN. They should just be DA, because it's not Destination America anymore. It's like a Ghost Hunters channel. That can go away as far as I'm concerned. And because any other different programming has gone, it's part of the Discovery Scripts network. And so a lot of the cooking channels and barbecue shows and all that stuff have been moved over to the cooking channel and Food Network type of thing. So PlayStation Vue is deciding to move those channels to their Elite, which means you need to pay $5 to $10 more a month if you would like those two channels. They are adding Motor Trend, which is also part of the Scripps Network. So in case you want to get into the weeds on these type of things, Discovery Scripts and PlayStation Vue renegotiated just about a month ago or so, and this is probably part of that deal. So the current contract is coming up at the end of September, and so two of those channels go to a higher tier, and one channel is coming in. So kind of a 2-for-1 swap. Other changes with PlayStation Vue, it looks like the NHL Network has also been added to their regular tier as well. We'll see if that's just a promo. I'm not sure why they'd want to promote it in August, but you never know. So those are the changes with PlayStation Vue. The Roku channel. Well, we couldn't go a week without changes on the ad-supported network from Roku now, could we? They have not added not only more channels, but a whole section just for family and kids. Isn't that nice? So they just made a whole new box, which will take you to a whole new section of free channels, ad-supported, for your family. Mostly cartoons, but some other kids programming, and it's all in one friendly little area that you're not afraid that your kids will bump into something they shouldn't, type of thing. So that's sweet now, isn't it? Not to be outdone, Pluto TV, the other ad-supported network from Viacom and soon-to-be Viacom CBS, has added a little network or a little channel from, what are they called? The NFL, the National Football League, with NFL films and previous games and from the past and all that stuff. Kind of fun with commercials and all that good stuff. Also, they added some more they're channels that they've already had that they've just kind of used their brand on. So classic sitcoms is now Nick at Night sitcoms and Nick at Night drama and things along those lines. So channels that they've already had that they've rebranded with their own stuff that they like. So they're entitled to do that. You're going to see more from them as the merger with CBS comes on, I'm sure. So those are the changes. Whew. Ha. So plenty of stuff available for you if you need it. Enjoy it with your Roku. Now, here we go. So, once again, don't be confused when you see a bunch of numbers being thrown at you with different things, like about cord cutting or different channels or anything like that. For some reason, some of these sites out here want to tell you, because they feel like they're being asked all the time, what's the most popular channel? The top 10 Roku channels. Oh, number 4 will just blow your mind. Okay, it's all about you. Okay, now granted, this is me and my Roku, and so according to me, so I say I use PlayStation Vue. That doesn't mean you should. And if the stats say, well, I should use Hulu because it's the most popular, well, it might not be right for you. It might not have the channels that you want. So here's another stat that they're throwing out there, that 56% of all U.S. TV consumers stream video. Okay, so anyone who's getting TV now through whatever service, internet, cable, whatever, they're also streaming as well. Either be using Netflix or, a TV or a Roku or Amazon TV or whatever. So, what does that mean? Nothing. It's all about you and what's good for you. So this came up once again when I went to my buddy's house, who has still not gotten a Roku, and yet the wife is still pleasantly reminding him that the cable bill is $200 a month. So if that could get shaved a little bit, she would be really super pleased. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. And then he would politely invite me over and show him the ropes and all that stuff. And I'd say, you don't need to. You just listen to a podcast called Me and My Roku, and you'll be all set to go. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, what's good for me is going to be a lot different than what he's going to need and all that stuff. So I can just tell him what I do and how I hook something up and what channels that I can use and all that stuff. So 56% people streaming, that's actually a good number. Not quite trusting the number because it comes from Nielsen. So it's just about what kind of ads they can drum up and type of thing and all that stuff. So it's here's a thing. Here's an analogy. You look at this as if you were a realtor on House Hunters. Okay, you get down on a piece of paper and you go over what's your budget, what can't you live without, what would you like to have, what do you use right now, type of thing, and then let the streaming goddesses and gods and all that stuff come to you with all the things that you may or may not need. And there's a lot of things out there you don't even know. That's why I come up here every now and then and show you what I'm doing to say, hey, I didn't know that, and I heard about this. So what's the difference on a lot of these things? It all depends on what you want. And so Hulu is right now, they say, the most popular one out there. PlayStation Vue, maybe not so much, but they're making changes, they're making deals, so they're still around. So it's all about what you want. Now, I will just tell you, for me, since this is Me and My Roku, the things that I was looking for was some certain channels, Red Zone, and being able to log on to apps. Sling TV was very good, had half of that, has Red Zone and different channels and all that stuff, but everything's done within the Sling app, and it was messy and hard to find. Whereas with individual apps that you can just log in with your PlayStation login, then I just found more Now that's me. That could be totally different for you. For somebody else, it's like, I don't care about sports. All right? So, Philo works for all that stuff because it has everything else except sports. So, because one of the drawbacks of PlayStation is they don't have like the A&E networks, like History and A&E and FYI and some of the channels that, every now and then, or Axis for music concerts. That's something that I could like every now and then, but I have Hulu and some of the older episodes are on there, so it scratches my itch every now and then. So those are things that you can also look at as well as alternatives, and sometimes just having the apps on there, even though you don't have a login, they still give you free stuff every now and then too. So you got to weigh the pros and cons of some of that stuff. I know this seems like a lot of work. You just want to get to your TV. You want to unwind after a day and just watch TV. And really the work is only for like when you just first get it. It's just getting in the setup and just finding some things. So I think if you just spend a weekend and just go hog wild, you pretty much get it after that, and then it becomes a second nature. And then you just look at the new and notable every now and then, and some of the different things or the featured things, or just the ad-supported networks. Whatever it is you want to do, you're in control. And that's what I think is great about the Roku. That's at least what I do. And so that's how I enjoy Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, time once again to just have a little chat, and I just talk about things. This show is a public service. I do this out of the love of my heart, so that people will take control of their television with their Roku. That's all I care about. If you feel obligated, I'm not going to do a Patreon and all these things and hide specific programming for you. Oh, we were talking before the show, and boy, if you'd like that, just donate all your money to us. If you think subscription fatigue is getting on the Roku and streaming world, then in the podcast world, it's like 4 times as bad. So I'm not going to come here and say, hey, give me $1 and I'll give you more programming. That's not how it works. The programming comes right out of here and is directly for you, and I don't hide anything. If, however, you say had a gift card from like Amazon or Apple or Sony PlayStation or anything in those lines, and you got like $1.32 left over and you don't know what to do with it, you want to email that to me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. That's totally on you, and you would have a friend for life. But just listen to the show and you'll have a friend for life. So it's all good. So all I ask then is that you say thank you and maybe check out and maybe even consider supporting archive.org. They are the keepers of the Internet Archive, and they're doing fantastic work going out there and saving all these things, not only just websites, but music concerts, podcasts, books, and anything they can get their hold on, anything that's in the public domain, they want to preserve and hold on forever. So take a look at them today and see other programming that you can also listen to as well or watch. And check it out today at archive.org and say thank you, archive.org, for being the provider of Me and My Roku and Pete Clay's podcast for a very, very long time. Say thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay. One thing I don't talk enough about is apps. Not the apps on your Roku, like the channels. I call them channels, but even though they're apps. The Roku app, available on your tablet or phone. It's a good device, not just for the remote, in case you lose your remote or your better half won't give it back to you because she wants to watch 12 hours of The Ghost Whisperer in a row. You've had enough. No, you can actually run your Roku, run your account. You can add and get rid of channels, and it's been good for me because when I can show somebody how I use my Roku, I can just go to the Roku app and say, here's all the channels I have. This is how I have them laid out, type of thing. And another thing is you get the Roku channel that you can watch on your phone. So check your streaming things. If I have T-Mobile, so I'm not sure if it's part of the binge on. So make sure you're either on Wi-Fi or just check to make sure your unlimited plan covers it, type of thing. But other than that, you get the Roku channel and the new kids and family section and all those different things. So that's one thing to look out for. Another thing to keep your eye out on I haven't discussed this, and now that football season's coming up, you might be interested in the Big Ten Network. Now, I am here in the Midwest. Maybe you're not, but I'm just saying, since this is a me show, I will just tell you what I do, and this may affect other people. I know that the ACC network is now starting on, and it's being added to different services type of thing. So if you're in ACC country, keep on a lookout for that. For here in the Big Ten area, that was part of the whole deal with Fox splitting up with its regional networks. So it used to be part of the Fox Sports Go, and then it also had its own app, BTN Go. That is going away, and it's now part of the Fox Sports app. So, like, what's all the difference on these different things? The Fox Sports Go is for what was ever left over with the regional sports that Disney has to get rid of, and that Fox didn't want anymore. The Fox Sports app is like whatever Fox has left. So Fox Sports, FS1, FS2, and now the Big Ten Network. So those are all going to be in one app instead of splitting them up into different apps. So 4 things, or 3 or 3.5 in one app for Fox Sports. So the Big Ten Network then, instead of having its own app, is looped in with the Fox Sports app, and you can watch all the different things that they. So if they have alternate games, so they have regional, like Wisconsin, Illinois are playing each other, and then Purdue and Indiana are playing over here, you'll get them both on the app, usually. So another thing just to keep your eye on there, use your Roku app. Put it on your tablet. Use it as a remote if you have to. Another trick on that as well is if you have a Roku Ultra on your app, since that has a headphone jack as well on the remote, you can use the remote on your phone or tablet then, so you can listen through your device. So if you have Bluetooth on that too, then that also works as well. Little trick there. I thought I'd just throw in as an extra there for you. That's the bonus kind of content you get here on Me and My Roku.
Give me something to believe in.
Are you ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for this?
Okay. Woohoo. We're having some fun today. So comings and goings that I've added and taken off to my Roku. Let's go first. Just as I was talking about all the different marketplace apps you can get on your Roku, like Cheddar and Yahoo Finance and all this stuff, I mentioned Morningstar. And just as much as I just promoted it last week, just to kind of make a point of what's available on the Roku while the market is going up and down and up, then down, and then up again. I took Morningstar off, and basically because I'm not really big into short-term videos, even though obviously we all use YouTube every now and then. But Morningstar I get as a podcast. So whatever videos they've done throughout the week, they kind of compile and make it into one podcast. So I didn't really need the redundancy of having it on my Roku. That's just me. I can bring it back because sometimes I'm listening to something and they're talking about something and I didn't get the stock symbol or something like that. They have it on the screen then, so that can be useful. So if you are looking into more of a deeper dive into the markets and some of the different funds that are available and different opinions on that, I still recommend Morningstar. They give a lot of stuff for free. They have a premium, but what they give away for free is a lot of valuable information if you're into that stuff. If you want to step up from the CNBC gang and the Bloombergs and all those different things. So it went, but it's still highly recommended. So I added the cooking channel, and I didn't really want to because I have the Food Network, and this is kind of like the leftovers, pun, but from the Food Network. But I was looking for something specific. It was a show called You're Eating It Wrong. Now, it turns out that that's just exclusive on the website because I saw something that they did, whereas you're eating your taco wrong. If you're using a hard shell, what you should do is put everything in your hard shell. As I bump the microphone, I get excited about talking about tacos. Take the hard shell, put everything in it, and then take a soft shell and then wrap it underneath, and boom. I think they call them chalupas, actually, but that's okay. So that way you don't have the mess. When you get that crunch, everything stays within the soft shell taco. Anyway, so apparently that's a web series, and not on. But I ended up going down a rabbit hole and watching other shows and finding out that it's actually halfway decent. So it's still on there for now. Came and went was Tasty TV. It was just added as part of the new Roku channels, and I decided to give it a look because I've seen their stuff on Facebook, and it turned out they only had like 5 videos and nothing like what you've seen before. So saw it, and then it went away. But there's other things like Cooking Panda and different things. So if you're into the short videos that you've seen on social media, there's a lot of things on the Roku for you if you're getting into cooking. I added Stir again, and I don't know why. With all the ad-supported networks out there, and they're all changing. Right now, you could get along with the Roku channel and Pluto and YouTube, and you're set. You really don't need anything else other than that. Stir is just trying to get in there and give you that local feel, like having a group of like Austin, Texas, and Green Bay, and Washington, D.C., but it and the rest of the channels I think you can get on the other networks. So Stir will probably go again by the time we talk about this next week, but for now it's on there so far. Okay, so why don't we also just check what's on my radar here quick? And I'm still thinking about CBS there. Now, if you recall, I talked maybe a month ago or so about doing the chicken challenge. That is, if you're not watching a subscription or something like that enough to warrant it, cancel it. Because along the ways, they will give you offers. They need you. They can't live without you. Or they want to give the illusion that they can't live without you or something. And they'll give you deals somewhere along the line. Sometimes it takes 6 months. Sometimes it doesn't take very long at all. Like I got rid of my Apple Music, and within a month or two, they gave me another 3 months if I bought one. Spotify does that twice a year, around Christmas time and then around June. If you buy 1 month, they'll give you 3. Well, in the Roku world, that happens too. Netflix will do it like once or twice a year. And now I'm getting it from CBS All Access. I dropped it in May after their shows went off, and now they're offering a free month. So get on board with that if you wish. So that's on my radar. I have until August 31st to make that decision, so I got another week or so yet, and I'll probably do that by then, because then our shows will start, and I at least get off to a 1 month head start on some of that stuff. So that's what's on my radar. If you have any questions or things that you would like to let me know about, you may email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. I want to thank archive.org for once again providing the bandwidth for this fine podcast. It's been awesome. Because they're awesome, and we love them very much. And by we, I mean me. Subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, and radio.com. All there for you to enjoy and consume. I'm Peter Clay. Thank you for joining me for Me and My Roku. Hope you're enjoying your Roku as much as I'm enjoying Me and My Roku, and I'll join you real soon.